My customer experience. Me versus council tax. Part 2.
Oh,
Hi, is that Mr. Z. Mohammed?
it is. Yes, yes, yes.
This is Will Power from Sutton Council. Return your request for a callback.
Yes, please. Yes, please, Will.
Yeah, how can I help?
Yeah, I've been having ongoing problems with my billing at Sutton Council. I did speak to your colleague before, but it seemed to get a bit personal, which I'm not really a fan of. I just wanted a bit of assistance in what's going on with my billing and an ongoing debt issue, um, which seems to be a bit harsh, really. So I just wanted some help and assistance.
Yeah, let me have a quick look. So if we tackle the oldest debt on the account first, probably just to kind of go in order with everything, it's probably the easiest way to go about it. I can see there was an email I think that was sent on the 15th of April by the council tax recovery team.
Yeah,
I think
I've
they
sent in.
stated.
I think what's happened is a debt collector letter came to me that I
Mm,
didn't know was anything to do with council tax because I got an email from a Merton Enforcement. I think it's called
Yeah,
Merton.
yeah. We've been Merton Enforcement are the ones that Sutton Council use for any kind of
Okay,
well, any kind of council tax debts, effectively.
okay. Now my only concern with everything was October last year. I called into your team because it said that I was owed money by you. So I called into your team and I spoke to a lady, I can't remember her name, but she said to me, no, you've paid, I think my bill was something like 704 quid. I got whatever discounts and so forth.
Yeah,
I'd paid 120, 100, and I'd paid everything off. Now she'd
yeah.
said,
So after that case, so after that phone conversation, your council tax reduction changed. So
uh,
there would have been a change in your circumstances of some kind that resulted in a new bill
no, but I
being due.
haven't. But I was going to say, in the nicest way possible, there's been no change in circumstance.
Right, let's have a quick look at your benefit claim at the time quickly. So last October, so your income doesn't fluctuate at all, no?
No, what
So
happens?
exactly,
No,
because
what?
if your
Yeah,
income,
yeah.
if you let me explain, if your income fluctuates, your council tax bill changes because you were getting council tax reduction. So instead of you paying a flat rate of council tax period for a year, you were getting council tax reduction based on the fact that you're getting universal credit and you were self-employed.
But I
So
don't. I
if
was going to
there's
say I don't get universal credit. What I get is a top up on my income depending on what I earn. So I
Yes,
don't.
but
Yeah.
your council tax is also based on those circumstances. So if one month, for example, your self-employed income decreases and you get a top up from universal credit, depending on how that fluctuates and what way that goes, your bill may reduce. Likewise, if your income increases, for example, and you have more disposable income, your council tax bill will go up as a result of that. So I can see in October when you spoke to Shirley. Let's have a quick look. When was the call show? Give me 2 seconds. I just want to get the dates just to make sure they line up. Um, so you had a conversation. So your conversation last October was on the 7th. So at the time you'd overpaid your council tax at that point. The next statement they had through for the 9th of October. So let's have a quick look.
But I was going to say, Nick, where I'm having the main problem, not Nick, Will, sorry, where I'm having the main problem is when you do your adjustment, that bit is not getting to me, right? So this is where I'm very concerned, even for this year. For 2024, this happened originally,
Mhm.
and this was when I just come off a bereavement benefit because my wife passed. So
Okay.
I ended up with a debt in March 2024 that never was issued in a bill. You then sent out your bill on the 1st of April. I'm paying every month, paying, and bear in mind I'm a paying customer.
Mhm.
And what was happening was I was getting a text message through. So I was getting a text message saying you owe 72. I'm paying 104, 104. Then the debt collector came, billing
Mhm.
me for what was outstanding that I never was billed for. Now, from my perspective, I'm paying every month, paying every month. I'm doing the right thing, but then you're hit.
Yeah.
Then I was hit with, and you've got to bear in mind this is off the back of bereavement. I'm hit with, I've got a council tax guy come, not council tax, a debt collector come to take my car. And I'm like, hang on, this ain't right. So as I was grieving, I paid it, right? Because you know, this is emotional. It's like you know, I'm trying to move forward in my life. I've got a son I'm trying to raise. You know, you're trying to get over your wife. So I just paid it. Now
Yeah.
moving forward, the next year, what
Mhm.
cannot happen is a reminder of the pain that you were in, or the emotional of putting your wife in the ground. You can't have a reminder of that. You're trying to move forward. I'm trying to raise a child, you know, and so forth. What I cannot afford is the same thing to happen the next year. But guess what?
Yeah.
The same thing happens. So from my perspective, this has to stop. So I said to James, well, move the discount. Now,
Yeah.
in saying that, I don't know. I'm expecting to have a bill of maybe 120, 100. It's 176 pounds a month. So it's gone from 74 or whatever it was when you were giving the first discount to 104 to 176. I was told earlier today that I'm 176 with um a 25% discount, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how you bill, but my circumstances, I'm still self employed, I'm still a widower, I've still
But
got a
that's what's
child.
not. Yeah, but that's what's not being taken into consideration now,
Oh,
because the council tax reduction was cancelled.
yeah, but I've just been told I've got a 25% discount.
You do. It would be £211 per month without that
Okay,
discount.
now all I was asking for is one bill, because what you're doing is every single month I'm in another debt, another debt, another debt collector. Do
Yeah.
you, in the interest of humanity, is there any chance of getting that? Or do I have to cancel? Do I have to close down my business and go and work in J Sainsbury's to get that? Because
No,
I've had
we've said
enough.
we've.
At some
No,
point, you've got it's 3 years, and I've had enough of
yeah.
that.
No,
I'm trying to move forward in life,
right.
and
Yeah.
I'm
Let
not
me
able
explain
to
to you.
do that.
Yeah. Let me explain to you. The only way you're going to get a bill with reduction based on your income is if your income stays exactly the same, because your reduction is based on that income. We can't give you one bill because we can't predict, especially if you're self-employed. I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can't tell me what you're going to earn in September.
But then, if that's the truth, how can you issue me a council tax bill, tell me I've overpaid, and that I don't have to pay anything until the next year,
At,
April?
at that point,
This is what's happened though. This is why I'm concerned, and this is why I'm a little bit annoyed about it all.
so let me explain it
Oh,
to you. When you spoke to the colleague in October, as of the 7th, as of that day when you had that conversation, as of the information we had based on your self-employed income and your universal credit statement that would have reflected the previous month, because obviously they always go a month back on themselves. As of that day, you had paid up.
okay. Now it's. She also said to me, you will not get another bill until April.
If
One
no,
sec. This is.
no, no, no,
I can only.
no, no,
Okay, you record conversations, I
we do,
assume. Right. So
we
can
do.
you? So
So I
so
can tell.
So can you?
I'll,
Oh, can you listen to
yeah,
that conversation, please?
I can, but I can read the note to you.
It's not the
You
note. I
want
want you to listen to the conversation because I was told
No worries.
you would.
I can do that.
I was
Okay.
told I will not get another bill until April the next year. Now,
Let me read the note to you. I'm more than happy to listen to the call as well as, but if I read the note to you, that might be a start. Telephone call at 3:12 from Mister wants to know balance on the account and which bill to pay against. Advised Mister needs to pay against latest dated bill received. The latest dated bill was the 16th of September. Mister stated he paid £105 today. I advised Mister that he then overpaid his council tax account. Mister stated he did not want different bills. Advised cannot confirm he will not receive any other bills for the remainder of this.
she said based on my yes, I know. She said based on what I get on universal credits,
You may get another bill.
you may
So
get
you
an.
didn't say
Okay,
yes.
yeah, you're
So
right.
you may get another bill.
Yes,
So
that's
and then we sent you another bill. I know you're saying you didn't receive it, but she did not say to you at any time you will not get another bill until April.
No,
That
no,
was
no.
your recollection of the call.
That's not what I said. What happened was I asked I asked questions, and it
Yes.
was the response to the questions that I asked that I went off. Now I said, so will I be billed again between now and April? I
And
said
she
that.
said to you at the end of that call,
Okay, so
and ignore that bill. She says, I'm just listening to it again in real time, and you said to her, I'll get the 25% discount. I'm on Universal Credit.
no, I didn't say I was on universal credit.
You did. I'm listening to her.
I'm not
to
on
you say this.
I'm not on universal credit. I get
But
a
you just
top
said
up
that.
of okay.
I know,
I'm,
sir. I'm listening to the call. I'm quoting you. This is you. I'm listening to the call.
mhm. So that's what I'd like a copy of the phone call because from my
That's
perspective,
fine.
if I get a bill, I'm not a non-payer.
If there's a chance that I earn more, I'm just listening now.
Yes, because I'm not dishonest. I know that I said if I'm on universal credit, but based on what I get, I know that I'll get another. I may get another bill, but I don't know what I'm going to earn. You don't know what you're going to earn the next month.
Of course not.
No,
So at the time the time we had that conversation in October, we were under the assumption you would overpay
okay,
unless your circumstances
okay.
changed.
So
Then 10 days later, on the 17th of October, we were told by Universal Credit your circumstances had changed.
it hadn't changed though. My circumstance. What happens? I'm just going to explain to you what happens with any kind of self-employment situation.
No, I know if it changes.
No, it's not. It's not that. This is what the biggest problem. It's a complete misinterpretation. What could happen is I may have to get my carpet cleaning pump repaired. That pump may cost me 750 quid, and that's how much it costs to do a pump on my carpet cleaning machine. I may have to, you know, so it's done based on your income, profit.
Yeah.
So what you
Yeah.
earn could be £1,700, but what depends on what your bills are.
Not change, whether that be profit or, you know, whatever your profit is, taking into consideration every month, that is a dead heat, that it doesn't change.
I'm not,
Because
what,
the
yeah.
reduction that you get is based off of your profit.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that okay, now I was 74.
Yeah.
I was 74 when we had that phone call in October. I was
Yeah.
£74 a month. 70. I'm now £176 a month,
Yeah.
based on trying to get my billing normalised. Now, I understand that it can fluctuate, but it ain't supposed to be £176 a month for council tax for a widower as a
No,
it,
but this is what I'm saying to you is the 176 is not based on you being a widower. It is not based on you being self-employed. It is based on you living in the property that you're living in with, and being a sole occupant.
a two.
That is what that is based on.
No, it's a. I've got a child. I've got a child who's in
Yeah,
full-time
yeah.
education.
So you get 25% off for being a sole adult.
So my council tax has gone up over £100 a month with the exact same income based on what? When did
No,
that?
no, you're missing that point. Your income doesn't matter. Your income is not being taken into consideration. Your status as a widow is not being. You're getting 25% for being the only adult, but your income, your self-employed income that you have, you're being charged the same as somebody who was earning six grand a month. You're being charged the exact
No,
same.
but so how's my council?
If they were a millionaire and living in the property,
Okay.
you're being charged the exact same amount
So
as
so
that.
so how comes my council tax has gone up more than 60, 70%?
Because your council tax reduction has been cancelled.
But it's only been cancelled because I've asked for a bill like everybody else.
So we are now charging you effectively from the date that it's been cancelled. So
It wasn't cancelled. Yeah, but what was it cancelled for? Because I had a conversation asking for a bill because I don't want a debt collector at my house. It's not an unreasonable request not to have a debt collector in your house every year.
Those are two different completely scenarios. Those are two different scenarios.
Yeah, but they're happening to me. They're not happening to you. Your explanation is great for you, but bad for me.
I'm not talking about it happening to me, sir. You didn't want to be billed frequently.
No, I didn't say that. I just want one bill, like everybody else, in May.
But you can base so
In April.
if you're wanting reduction on your council tax based on your income and your income changes, you cannot get just one bill. Because if we bill you in April, for example, based on your profit for April, let's say you had a really, really shockingly poor April, right? Let's just play on that, for example, yeah? Let's say you had hardly any work in April whatsoever.
Okay.
And therefore you were paying £30 a month.
Okay.
That was what we billed you at.
Okay, so
if you then had a fantastic summer and an even better winter,
Mhm.
you wouldn't then continue to pay the £20 or £30. We would have to continuously bill you if your profit increased.
Okay, I understand all of that, but
So, so,
what my
so
issue?
I get from the other aspects that if there's not
Said, oh, your billing is so. If my billing changed from £74 to 110, I understand that, but my billing is now £176 a month,
because
based
there's no
on no,
reduction.
no.
But you keep saying it's based on
Okay, okay. Is that justified? So you've sent a debt collector to my house, and I've got to pay that, and I did. I paid the first one in the middle of a bereavement. You've done it again because you've adjusted the billing in October. I'm now £176 a month. I'm £76 a month down again, 150 each month. At what point is there normality in my billing? I'm living in a maisonette. I'm not living in a big house. I've got a child that's in full-time education, and I'm a widower. And these
you're,
problems have been happening as a result
but you
of.
but you understand.
I get
You
what you're saying,
understand.
but they're not. There's
Yeah,
something wrong.
no.
Okay,
But I get what you're saying.
my
The problem
council
is
tax
that
bill is completely wrong, and I'm talking about. I don't want a debt collector coming to my house every year. Please.
no,
It is
no,
a, it's a no, but it
shouldn't be.
happened. It happened in 2024 when my wife died. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
and
Can you understand that?
Mr.
Do you?
Steve Mohammed,
Yeah, but this
I
is
have
not
not
normal.
listen to
This
me.
isn't
I
fair.
have not, sir. I
This
have
is
not
not
raised my
normal.
voice at any
No,
point,
but this
and
is
I get your.
heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken.
I
My wife was
understand that.
dead, and I
I
had a
get
debt
your
collector come to take my car.
sir.
That's
I
not
get your
normal.
I get your frustration.
Yeah, but
And
then
don't
you do
forget
it again.
you're not. Yeah, right. And the reason why it happened last year is your conversation in October advised that if there was a change in your circumstances, you would potentially receive a new bill.
But I didn't get
Then
it,
you
or I
say,
would have paid
right,
it. If I'd
right,
got it, I
and
would have paid it. I promise.
right,
I just
right.
can't believe this is happening again.
I know.
And then now we're
You
another year, and it's happening again because you
no.
won't bill me. God, it's
Listen,
and now you've
you're
put
not.
my price up £100 a month. Come
Okay,
on, guys.
I'm going to tackle the previous part first. I don't disbelieve you didn't receive the recovery notices because I believe you. If you'd received them, you would have paid them. Unfortunately, the recovery team have taken the stance per the email that they sent you that
Can
they're
you
not
read
able
my?
to
Could
withdraw.
you read my recovery email? Could you read my
Listen.
email to Revenue and Recovery?
I
Can you
did.
read it, please, for yourself, so you can understand what I've gone through?
Yeah, sir. I'm not saying at any point that I don't understand what you've gone through, but they've made the decision that it's with the enforcement agents
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, but you didn't
I
bill
don't.
me. I just
Listen,
wanted a bill. That's it.
listen, two ticks.
Oh,
Two ticks.
Jesus Christ.
I get your frustration, but two ticks.
It's
Yeah?
not my frustration. You are billing me, and I've got to put food on my table, and I've got a child to raise, and I'm trying to deal with a bereavement. And not
I get
only,
that, but you're not allowing me to try and resolve
yeah,
this for you in the best way that I can. You've asked for a callback and asked for some form of resolution.
yeah, because I've got
Giving me the opportunity to do that.
I've got to go to the ombudsman now, and I've got to pass it on to a solicitor because this is a form of it's a form of harassment to me because I've tried to do the right thing.
So instead of jumping to that solution, let's try and resolve it between ourselves.
It's going to that solution.
You're thinking 5 steps ahead.
Because I don't. Because my health, my sanity. Okay,
I get it, but it's making this conversation increasingly difficult for me to try and help you.
Because you haven't.
If you want to go to the ombudsman, then we'll end the call and you can take that route. You have to put in a stage 1 complaint first. But at least let me try and help you first, or not, or we can end the call. Well, I don't want to do that. I'd rather try and help you.
I would like my sanity back, with all due respect. My sanity.
Sure.
As a council, and I've lived here 19 years, and I actually don't want to live in this borough just because of this. It's a horrible situation.
Okay, so let me try and help you, and then we'll tackle. And if we can see if we can make something work, brilliant. If we can't, then you can take the next steps. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Okay, brilliant. So again, as far as the enforcement agency. Doing. Do you know what I would genuinely suggest doing? Save your money for as far as the solicitor is concerned.
No, I'm not going to save my money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see what this call finishes as.
I tell you what, you're going to have to give me an opportunity to speak.
Okay, yeah. You said save your money.
Because really, we're not going to get anywhere, and we're going to be talking at cross purposes. You've got to give me an opportunity to try and help you here.
Okay.
Or not, or we'll end the call. Again, I don't want to do that. I really want to try and help you here, but you've got to give me an opportunity to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said save your money as far as the solicitor's concerned.
Yeah. And what I would suggest doing first of all is, because if you go to an ombudsman, they're going to ask if you've exhausted the complaints procedure here, and the first thing you're going to have to do and turn around and say is, no, I haven't actually gone through the complaints procedure. Because there hasn't been a stage 1 complaint that's been submitted.
So is my email not a complaint?
No. It was sent to Revenues Recovery.
But that's what you.
There's a difference between asking for something to be done and logging a formal stage 1 complaint.
I don't know that. You've told me that when I spoke to.
And that's what I'm saying is when you had spoken to James.
He gave me.
At that point, he would have correctly said, if you want it removed right from the enforcement agent, you need to email into Revenues Recovery. You need to email, that's your first port of call. You ask for revenues recovery. Here's the situation. This is what's happened. You know, this is where I feel there's been failings, etc. I need it removed from the enforcement agents for this reason. They've come back and responded with the answer no, for the reasons they've given.
So that's not a stage one. That's not stage one.
No. So your next port of call at this point would be, okay, well, I'm not happy with that response. I want it to be logged, the next response to be logged as a formal stage one complaint. If you go to an ombudsman now, the very first thing they're going to ask you is, have you gone through the council's complaints procedure? And when you say, no, I haven't, they're going to say, well, you need to do that first.
I don't work for the council. You're telling me now.
No. I know, and that's what. But this is my job. This is my job, telling you how. Because I don't want you wasting your time going to an ombudsman or going to a solicitor. Because again, a good solicitor will tell you you need to do complaints procedure. A bad solicitor won't tell you to do the council complaint procedure.
Yeah, but what you've got to understand. But what you've got to understand from my side is this dragged up my bereavement circumstance, and that happened as a result of my bereavement benefit finishing. So the one thing that you don't want to happen is the same to happen again. And when it does, you're not just going to be angry; you're going to be furious because it's not.
No, understandably, completely, and frustrated, and any other absence.
Because it's a bill. Like, okay, T-Mobile, they send you a bill every month, and that's it. Everybody sends you a bill every. I, for whatever reason, can't get that from my council, and that I live here for 18 years. I never had the problem in Redriff House.
But again, if we went on the basis, if all your other bills were based on what your profit was per month, and they adjusted your bill accordingly.
Stage one complaint. Yeah. Okay. What do I need to put?
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll give you the email address. So it's I think I've got this on my head. So it's complaints. At Sutton.gov.uk.
Okay.
Now, what I would probably suggest doing, just for ease, is the initial email that you sent back in March. I would, when I say forward it, I don't mean forward it like it, like nothing else with it. But just so they've got it to hand, I would maybe you can copy and paste or forward it to the point where you can add to it like above and say this was the initial email that was sent in March. There was a response in April that you feel you're not happy with, or you're not happy with the result. You want to look at this as a stage one complaint, and obviously to kind of outline the reasons as to why you feel the debt should have been removed, it should be removed from the enforcement agents, etc., etc.
Okay.
And then they can tackle that
Because the thing of the current year is, how's your bill? Your bill shouldn't be £100 a month different. You know, the council tax has gone up, but not that much. And it's
No,
not just the.
But it has if you're not getting any reduction.
Yeah, but my circumstance. Okay, the reason for the request is I do not want a debt collector at my door. That's it. So
Yeah,
that shouldn't be. That shouldn't cost me. That shouldn't cost me £1,200 a year.
Yeah. So right. So what I would put again with the other one. Let me just have a really quick look.
I mean, do you understand that?
No, I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
also,
so in the interest of a person living in the borough that doesn't want a debt collector at their house again, who's gone through a bereavement, that is the.
Also,
Yeah, but it's.
You were not wanting continuous repeated bills. You wanted one bill. The only way we can guarantee one bill is, again, the only way we can guarantee one bill with it being a reduced rate of payment based on your financial circumstances is if your financial circumstances do not change in it. That's the only way we can guarantee that.
That's not what. That's not the issue. So, do you think I should pay £100 a month, £100 a month extra to live here?
No, did you hear what I just said to you?
I heard what you said, but I'm the person being penalised, not you. I'm the one that gets the debt collector, not you. So it's nice what you're saying. It sounds brilliant, but I'm the one that gets the harassment, and I don't want the harassment. I've sort of had enough. I've been too nice about it. Sorry, but that's how I feel.
Okay, and that's how you feel. Okay.
Which is a normal emotion.
Yes, no, and at no point have I said it's not. At no point during this call have I said I don't understand where you're coming from, have I?
Yeah, but I'm the one that gets £100 extra a month. I'm the
to
one
take
that's
into
tried to be
consideration-
nice to the council and ended up getting pooed on every time.
I
It's like
get
enough.
it, but it's easy 40 minutes, and at no point have I expressed that I don't understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
You need to understand that from the perspective of how we bill based on financial circumstances, I don't think it's going to align with what you want.
It's not what I want. It is, okay, every other person, my neighbour, the next one, the next one, the next one, they get a council tax bill, they pay that, and that's it. Now, what...
Is your neighbour claiming a reduction of their council tax bill based on their income?
No, that's not what... I didn't claim that off my income. My wife died, fella. That's what happened. She died. That wasn't me claiming. Do you know, I didn't ask for university. I'm a human being at the end of the day.
Listen, we've just tackled the previous year one.
We haven't. I've got to send a letter in. I've got to send a letter in, but the problem hasn't been tackled because I was harassed. That's not gone out the window. That's still there. Now, to then bring that forward 3 years, at some point you've got to say to yourself, that person's going. You're going to push the wrong button with that person. And he doesn't need the wrong button pushed. He just wants to go and be. He wants to put the bereavement in the back.
But I can't resolve that for you now.
I know, but okay. So
let's bench that.
No. Stage one complaint. You said stage one complaint. When I do
What I'm saying.
no,
But in this conversation now, let's bench it.
No,
Because
so
I told you stage one complaint.
no, but the stage
And
one
that's what you're gonna
complaint.
go away and do, Yeah.
So when I do the stage 1 complaint, this is why I'm asking. When I do the stage 1 complaint, what does that do as opposed to the debt collector?
They will look into whether or not they can withdraw it.
So do I tell the debt collector that a stage 1 complaint has been lodged?
I would strongly suggest you give you advice with that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
They've got their own standards and practices of whether or not they'll put a case on hold.
So just so you,
yeah.
just so you understand that that's what I don't know. So that's why I have to ask. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, I would strongly suggest mentioning it. To
okay. Well, thank you, Will, for that. That's important. Thank you.
Yeah. So current year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few different ways to tackle it effectively. At the minute, your instalments run from May till January. At the moment, that's why they're 176 per month. Normal council tax, you get a bit of a break at the end of the financial year. So the financial year runs April to April. So you normally get a break where you don't pay anything in February and March. So those are 2 months that we can utilise for payments to reduce the amount that's being paid each month.
No, I want my bill to be correct. That's it.
Yeah,
it's not
right. So this is what I'm saying. So at the moment, this bill, the most recent bill, doesn't take into consideration your financial circumstances at all. It's just a blanket council tax bill. You get a discount for being the only adult. That's it.
okay.
Done and dusted. That's the only way. Again, at the moment, that you're only going to get one standard bill.
But Will, what I want, what I want is no debt collector at my house when you do your adjustments. That's the problem. That is
no.
Would you be concerned about that?
We've already discussed that.
Yeah, but I don't want that happening in 2026.
So this is what I'm trying to resolve now for you. Run your instalments up until March. It should reduce the monthly amounts for you.
No, where you're saying that reduce my bill, if something's gone from 74 to 176, now
yes.
That isn't normal.
No, it is. If you're not getting any reduction, it is.
No, the reduction that was done was based on me asking to not have. I don't want a debt collector at my house. This is not.
Right.
How do you think my son feels? He's lost his mum.
No,
I know, but it matters. Yeah, but it matters. £4 bill for me in October, yet you can't do a discount for what I should get on my standard bill. I could understand if my bill was 110, 120 like it was when there was 2 of us living here working. It's now gone up. It went up to 176. It's now 138.
So when you were working, Was it self-employed or was it?
Full-time
Was it,
employment with a PAYE.
So that's why, because what we do in the April is we go, right, this is their income. If your income is static the whole year, you're not going to get a bill you're not going to be rebilled at any point because there's no change in your financial circumstances.
At some point, you have to understand that your conversation is just doing the same. It's just costing me more money. So it's £600,
Okay,
you're
I tell
saying.
you what,
No, I mean, that's what you're saying.
No.
You
Sir,
just said.
with the greatest of respect,
This-
in 47 minutes, where I think I've been incredibly courteous and patient and really tried to help.
No, but I don't think you're not trying to help. I just want you to tell me the cost, how much I'm supposed to pay with your
I just
reduction.
told you, 138.76 for June, 138 on the dot from July till March per month. There'll be a bill that will be sent that'll go on our billing run tomorrow. You should hopefully receive it by late next week. Those will be the instalments that will be payable. If you want to reduce that bill any further, you're more than welcome to claim council tax reduction again on our website. So we'll leave that there now, okay? Okay. You take care. Have a good day.
So I now have a debt of £715 from last year billed after clearing my annual bill. That was never sent to me. And my council tax has gone up from £74 to £138 and has extended for 12 months rather than 10 months. What more can I do? Thanks for watching.